Okay, everyone, the moment you've all been waiting for. I have the top 10 voting videos of the 100 videos that I've done in the Mandela Effect voting video series. For those of you that do not know, I started the voting video series because I was wanting to know how many other people agreed with me with these different Mandela effects that I was starting to notice back in March of 2016. So I said, if you remember it like I do, thumb up the video, and if you remember it how it's always been, go ahead and thumb down the video. So I ended up doing 100 voting videos, which there will still be more to come, and I'm going to give a top 10 now. I'm also at the end going to give the 5 voting videos that have the most thumbs up. Now, some of those are just because the videos had so many views, but anyhow, I'll give you the top 5 based on the most thumbs up overall. So, starting at number 10, we have Depends, and this is based on a multiplier, so 21 times the amount of people that said that it has always been Depend said that it was Depends. So you got 21 times the amount of people remembering Depends. I mean, this one here is a 100% for me. Always Depends. Depend just looks so weird without the S, but that's what it's always been. So, number 9. Laurel and Hardy's famous catchphrase. Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into, which is what I remember. And 21.4 times more people remember than didn't based on the voting. But it's always been, well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into. This is another one that's 100% for me. I think all these in the top 10 are just really strong for me and strong for a lot of people. That's why we have the voting turning out the way it did. Now, this one I just did in December, pretty recent, but only 16 people said no. It's always been Siegel, but I always remember Steven Seagal, and 22 times the amount of people who voted remember Steven Seagal versus those who don't. So moving along to number 7, it's going to be the Scarecrow. 1,050 people thumbed up the video saying they do not recall the Scarecrow packing heat, and 47 people said, oh no, he was always brandishing a firearm. The brainless guy always had a gun. So this is 22.3 times the amount of people remember it the way that I do and many others, which is not the way it currently is in this reality. So moving on to number 6, we have Brags, which I don't think a lot of people are familiar with, but those who are familiar with it, only 16 said no, always been brag, while 361 said it was Brags. It was BRAGG''S. I mean, there's 321 comments. A lot of people said they ran to their cupboard when they saw the video and they were mind blown. So we got 22.5 times the amount of people who voted agreed that it's different from their memories, but it's always been brag. So moving along to number 5, we have Liquid Plumber. I mean, I always remember it as plumber, like a plumber who would come to your house, a Plumber, but no, it's always been Plumr, Liquid Plumber. So we have 22.8 times the amount of people voted for this one, saying that what it is now doesn't match their memory. Only 18 people said, oh no, always been Plumr. So now we're hitting the top 4 here of my 100 voting videos. Any guesses on what number 4 is? Or any of the top 4? I was kind of surprised with the results. Now, some of this might be skewed because, I did some of these 10 months ago versus, 5 months ago. So there's a lot more views on some. But, you know, I think it's pretty clear there's very few people thumbing some of these down because they're just clearly different from what our memories are. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Never happened in this reality. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. 1,314 people said they remember this or remember hearing it in an episode or multiple episodes of I Love Lucy. Only 50 people said, no, never heard that before. And I'm hoping those 50 watched the show. But, I mean, this is just incredible here. This is a huge Mandela effect. One of the big ones. Moving on to number 3. Judge not, lest ye be judged. That's a huge one for me. I've known that since I was a teenager, even younger maybe. I've just known this for a very long time, but come to find out, it's always been judge not, that ye be not judged. I mean, that one there is just a real mind blower. 553 people said they remember judge not, lest ye be judged, and only 19 said no. Always been judge not, that ye be not judged. So that's 29.1 times the people agree that it's different now in this reality from what their memory's always been. So moving on to number 2, it's the Smithsonian Institute. Now I didn't get a whole lot of voting on this one, only 3,600 views, but almost 500 people said it was always the Smithsonian Institute. But no, it's always been the Smithsonian Institution. That's what it's always been. Only 16 people remembered as Smithsonian Institution. So out of the people who voted. So we got 30.9 times the amount of people say that it's different from their memory. Okay, everyone. Drum roll, please. The number 1 voting video in the 100 voting videos of the incredible Mandela Effect voting video series is Dolly. Yeah, Dolly, she didn't have those braces, did she? Yeah, pretty incredible. Most people remember braces. Only 12 people said, oh no, she never had braces, versus 426. I mean, this is 35.5 times the amount of people said that she had braces in the movie versus ones who said she didn't. So there you go, everyone. Those are the top 10 of the voting videos. Maybe when I get to number 200, we'll have another top 10. And we'll see how that turns out. There's so many Mandela effects. There's thousands. I mean, I've thought of going back and doing some of the ones I learned about over the summer, but I think people just want new ones, and there seems to be a fresh batch of those every so often. You get the headaches, the ringing in the ears, and then boom. It's like we shift and we just get all these new effects. So it'll be interesting to see what comes. Real quick, I want to give you the top 5 based on the number of thumbs up. So some of these weren't in the top 10 based on a multiplier effect. But let's look at the top 5 real quick. Number 5 of the most thumbed up videos out of 100 videos was Lucy. You got some splaining to do. 1,314 thumbs up. Number 4, Kit Kat. Kit Kat had 1,725 thumbs up. This is a big one for me. Every time I'm in the grocery store, I see Kit Kat, and this one bothers me more than most of the effects. I mean, I'm not seeing the dash there. It just bugs the heck out of me every time I see a Kit Kat. Sinbad. People remember Sinbad doing a genie movie. I clearly remember him in a genie movie. So we got 2,091 thumbs up. People remember Sinbad in a genie movie. Zimmerman, which